Alright everybody, welcome back to another beginner electronics video. Today we're just going to make an LED blink using an Arduino Uno, and to kind of demonstrate how this is going to look, we're just going to plug in the power supply and we got a blinking LED here. So we'll take this apart and put it together step by step. So now that we got everything disassembled, we'll just go over the materials, and we're going to start off with an Arduino Uno. We're going to have our trusty breadboard. We have some jumper cables. We have our green LED. We have a 2K resistor. And for the heck of it, we have another little jumper here. And here we have a USB A to B cable. Alright, now that we've gone over everything, we can just start wiring this thing up. It's going to be pretty simple. So we're going to take our black jumper. We're going to connect it to the ground pin on the Arduino and have that connect to the negative rail on the breadboard. We're going to take our red one. We're going to plug that into the number 8 pin. That's going to be our output once we get into the actual code. And we're just going to have that plug into the positive rail on the breadboard. We're going to take our 2K resistor, going to connect that into the positive rail on the breadboard. Have this just go to one of the pins here. Kind of take the cathode on the LED, have that plug into the same connection as that resistor. We're going to take the little jumper and just connect that one to the negative rail on the breadboard. We're going to take our USB cable. This is going to be our power supply and the means of uploading the program into the Uno. I'm just going to plug it in here. We're pretty much done wiring down here. Once we plug this side into the laptop, we'll have power and we'll get the code put together next. Alright, now we have the Arduino IDE open. I'll include a link in the description for how to download or where to download. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to have a completely blank one, but you can import an example by going to File, Examples, Basics, I believe Bare Minimum. And this kind of shows exactly, or opens up exactly what you're going to need. But we're going to start from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to define a variable. I'm going to call it LED pin. I'm going to assign it the number 8. We're going to create our main setup over here. And if you're unfamiliar with all the syntax, there are plenty of tutorials for how to do it. Alright, and inside the curly brackets, we're going to create a function, or call a function called pin mode. And it takes 2 arguments. We're going to take the LED pin, and that's pin 8, if you remember. And we're going to call that output. So that's going to be our pin that we're going to send output from. And pretty much any command here ends in a semicolon. We're going to create another little function here, or call another little function here, curly brackets. This is going to be looping. So we're going to do digital write. I'm going to call that LED pin. I'm going to mark it as high. We're going to delay it for about 100 milliseconds. Semicolon, digital write LED pin. And this is going to be low. Delay, again, another 100 milliseconds. Semicolon. So essentially what we're doing up here, we're defining the LED pin 8 as our output. And then down here, we're looping through a digital write, that 8 pin as a high. This is going to make the LED light up. We're going to delay it for about 100 milliseconds. We're going to then call the same pin, mark it as low, this turns it off, and then wait for another 100 milliseconds. And this goes back and forth, stuck in this loop. You can verify here. I'm just going to save it randomly anywhere I want. And it's compiling the sketch. It's going to look for any errors. Doesn't appear to be any errors. The next thing you always have to do before uploading a sketch, you go to Tools, you check your board, just make sure that you have the right type of board, and you can definitely see there are different types. I am using an Arduino Uno, and there's micros and minis and all sorts of other types. You want to check your port as well, just kind of make sure that this is connected correctly out of the right port. I'm using a Linux distribution, so you might have to do a little extra stuff to get that working. But once you have all that selected, you can just hit upload, uploading sketch, upload done, and you can see on the Arduino itself, we got it blinking. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.